my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to a really fun video that I decided to do after I did the Book Girl Starter Pack, where I went through all of the things that you would need to be a book girl, accessories, like things that was wants versus needs, things that will make reading easier for you. And I decided I wanted to do a video all about digital reading. I know a lot of people, they don't always buy as many books as I do. I have a jam-packed library. I love my library. I am a collector. I love having little trophies of things that I read. But I know not everyone can afford that, or not everyone has the space in their house and or apartment to have that. So I thought I would sit down and do everything about digital reading. I have my notes here. I have a whole page of notes that I did just so I make sure that I hit all the points that I wanted to. So I'm going to go through like ebooks, the different types of ebooks, the different types of e-readers, the different platforms, the different subscriptions that we have that are available. I will go through some audiobook options, subscriptions that are available. I'll go through, and I will also go through library options. If you live in the States, I will give you some options that you can purchase an out-of-state library card and or get some of them for free. So that is the main gist of this video. That is going to be all the parts. I will have all of the timestamps in the description box below for you, so you can skip ahead to one or another part of this video. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in, because I'm super excited for this. I'm going to start off with a very important thing, very important for digital reading. Do not download PDFs of books, okay? Do not type in blah 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 by blah 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 VK or PDF and download it illegally. That is horrible. Do not do that. That is not good for the author. That's not good for the publishing industry. That just is like defeating the purpose of supporting your favorite authors and like reading new things, okay? So that is not what this video is. I'm not going to tell you how to download that stuff. Do not do that. No. We're not doing that. But I will tell you that there are a variety of ways to e-read. Now, I am someone who, before I had all this, before I had a library, before I had physical books, I only read on my phone. I only read on the Kindle app. So you do not have to have a Kindle, but if you have the Kindle app on your phone and or if you have an iPad or something like that, you can download the Kindle app and read like you would on your Kindle. Of course, it's not going to have like some of the features that a Kindle has, but you can still highlight and you can still highlight your favorite quotes and all of that stuff. A lot of people will download books on Amazon, so they will buy the ebooks for free or for 99 cents. I do something on my Patreon every single Monday where I pull free ebooks from Amazon and I put them in like a compiled list for you where I think you would download. I think a lot of people would enjoy them. So it's either authors I've heard of, authors I personally want to read, books that I've read that I know that are really good. So that's one of the perks that I do every Monday over on my Patreon. But like I said, there are free ebooks. They will have sales. They'll have ebooks for 99 cents. Another good resource to find books on sale is BookBub. You get emails sent directly to your inbox with things that are on sale. You get to pick the categories and genres and subgenres of whatever you read. But a lot of things come from Amazon. Now, on Amazon, you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. So Kindle Unlimited is something that a lot of people have used. A lot of authors put their books in there outside of just the romance genre, but I read a lot of romances, so I just primarily know a lot of the romance stuff about it. The Kindle Unlimited subscription is $12.99. It did go up. It started at like I think $8.99 or $9.99. Like that's when I had it like years ago when I only read on my phone, but that means you can download up to 20 different books and have them on your Kindle app or your Kindle if you actually have a Kindle, but it could just be on your Kindle app and you can read them, and then there is no like limit. You can return them at any time and download new ones and all that stuff like that. I love Kindle Unlimited personally because I get to discover new authors that I haven't heard of before, or I've been wanting to read, or I've heard a friend talk about, or I see their cover on Instagram and I want to try it out. But authors will get paid by the page read on Kindle Unlimited versus just outright buying the book. So that's the main difference between the two. Some people want to know that, but yeah. They do have other apps and other type of e-readers. They have Nook, which I'm pretty sure is Barnes & Noble, kind of like their version of the Kindle. There is no subscription that I found online for that, so you can't like pay a monthly amount and get like borrows, I guess you can say, downloads of X amount of books. There is nothing like that for the Nook. Same thing for iBooks. It is Apple's version of Kindle, so a lot of people will put their stuff wide so you can have it on Barnes & Noble, like their Nook, the iBooks or anything like that, but there's no subscription for iBooks either. Now Kobo, which is another competitor to Kindle Unlimited, I guess you can say, that's wide. Like if an author's book is not in Kindle Unlimited, that usually means it's available on iBooks, on Nook, or Kobo. So Kobo does have a subscription for books in the subscription service like Kindle Unlimited for $7.99 a month. I have not tried this. I have really no desire to try it, but I know, for example, Nikki Sloan put a lot of her ebooks in Kobo's subscription to read. I don't know if she's kept them in there, but I do know she tried that. So there are a decent amount of authors that will put their books on Kobo on their subscription. Now going into kind of the read/listen audiobook subscription, Kobo actually has a read and listen subscription for $9.99 a month. So along with certain ebooks, they will have audiobooks available for you to download and listen on the Kobo app, which is cool. But also with Kindle Unlimited, if you're someone who has a Kindle Unlimited subscription for $12.99, there are a decent amount of audiobooks included in that. For example, recently I downloaded 2 books in Kindle Unlimited that have 2 audiobooks that will show up in my Audible app. Now, Audible is like a separate app that you have to have, so instead of having one Kobo app, you have to have 2 apps for Kindle Unlimited, which is the Kindle app, and you have to have the Audible app. Now, if you have a Kindle, I don't think you can listen to the audiobook on your Kindle. You have to have the app anyway on your phone or your iPad or anything like that. But there are some books available in Kindle Unlimited to read. Now, this is something I want to say. If you have Kindle Unlimited, or if you download an ebook, whether you buy it outright or you purchase it or you download it in Kindle Unlimited, you can have something called WhisperSync. WhisperSync is basically a deal on the audiobook. So for example, I already have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I download the audiobook in Kindle Unlimited and it'll pop up at the bottom of like, oh, it's in your Kindle library now, with you can purchase the audiobook for $7.49, so $7.49. Now, there is an Audible subscription, which I also have, and that is $14.99 or $15.99 a month, where you get 1 credit a month to download an audiobook in Audible's library. Audible will also have certain books available in their subscription automatically that you can download, but that's like hit or miss with some of the audiobooks. So basically $7.99 for an audiobook that will usually cost me, if I'm using a credit, that's $14.99. So it's always a steal, it's always something. So that is something that is offered with Kindle Unlimited and Audible and some of the audiobooks. Now, along with another app that you would have to download for audiobooks, it is Scribd. I've heard a lot of people that use Scribd. I still know a lot of people that use Scribd. A couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, I used Scribd because I wanted to see what it was about. It's $11.99 a month and it is not unlimited. I will say that. It will say that it is unlimited. It's not. Basically, you have X amount of downloads of audiobooks a month, and it's like certain audiobooks. And I don't know anything more than that, but it is not technically, I don't know if it's 3, I don't know if it's 5. There have some ebooks on Scribd as well. I don't know all about that, but Scribd is an option for you if you want another subscription. But I used it for about 6 months, and then I felt like I wasn't really getting anything from it, so I decided to cancel it. But it is there, and it is $11.99 a month. I know a decent amount of people that will use Scribd and still use Scribd, so there is some positives about it. Now, along with audiobooks, there is an app called Libro FM. Now, I have Libro FM because Libro FM has an influencer program where every month at the beginning of the month on the 1st, they will drop new audiobooks that are ALCs, or advanced listener copies. Now, Libro FM offers way more than just ALCs. They offer a way for you to support your local indie bookstore. So basically, you can purchase through Libro FM, go to your local bookstore's website and purchase audiobooks from there. It's like a credit thing that you can use too, similar to the Audible subscription. Now, I haven't used that part of it only because I personally go to my local independent bookstores and buy my physical books there sometimes, but also I will say that because I just get all my ALCs from Libro FM, they are a really, really, really cool app to use that I am able to listen to a lot of like early copies of books that I've been anticipating. So Libro FM is one thing for influencers and content creators, but also for people who want to support their local indie bookstores, or if you don't have an indie bookstore near you, it's a way to support other indie bookstores in other cities and stuff like that. So I think that's a really cool option. Also, with audiobooks, and I will say ebooks, your local library is a huge asset that a lot of people don't really know what's offered there. Now, I'm someone who I literally just got a library card about 4 years ago, right around the time that I started my channel, because I was in the book community and people were talking about libraries and audiobooks, and I was like, what the heck? Now, I had a library card when I was like in middle school and high school that I would go to my local library and like actually check out books. Same thing with my high school library. I would just check out physical books. I never listened to audiobooks, or I never digitally read when I was in high school. Then again, that was quite a few years ago, so I don't even think ebooks were a thing back then. But I will say your local library is a really cool asset. Now, I personally have a county library where my whole county is just under one library card. So I can go to my local library and the card is for my whole county. Now, I do have a city close to me that I don't live in that they have a separate library for the city. And if I go into the city of Atlanta, and if you live in the city of Atlanta, then you can get like more, you can get access to more things. So the bigger the city, the bigger the county, the more resources they have, and that means the more titles are available. Now, I will say my local county library is not that great with diversity. They do have some, like very anticipated releases most of the time via audiobook or ebook, but I will say I've had to outsource my library card. So I have a friend who lives in a different state that she has like an extra library card that she does not use, so I just use that library card. I have purchased an out-of-state library card from multiple different libraries. Most of them don't have the option to buy out-of-state anymore. So for example, I used to have a Brooklyn library card from New York. I purchased it out-of-state, but they don't offer that anymore, so I couldn't like repurchase it, so I had to find different things. Now, you may be asked, I knew about audiobooks, but ebooks, yes. Any library card, you can download the ebook and send it to your Kindle, or I think it's an option to send it if you have like iOS. If you have an iPhone, you can send it to iBooks. I don't know if you can do that with Nook or Kobo. I don't know if that's an option, but I do know for the Kindle app and or iBooks, it's an option. So I think that's really cool. Or you can read in the library app, and there's two library apps that a lot of people use, Libby and Hoopla. Now, there are differences in both, but the main difference is just the platform that the county library or city library or whatever library wants to use. So with both of them, you have X amount of borrows that you can have for ebooks and audiobooks. That varies by county, by state, by library card. Sometimes you only have 5 on Hoopla. Sometimes some people have 10 on Hoopla. On Libby, sometimes you can have 50, sometimes you can only have 20. It really honestly depends. I don't know the rhyme or reason. I don't know if it's the amount of resources. So like my local county library, I can only have up to 10 borrows a month. But on my Hoopla app that I use from an out-of-state card, I have 5 or 6 borrows a month that I use. So I primarily use my library cards for audiobook. I have used it for ebooks in the past. And it works perfectly fine. It works the same way. You have X amount of time before you have to return it. Now, that return time will also vary on county, city, library card. So sometimes you can have 14 days, sometimes you can have up to 21 days, sometimes it's a full 3 weeks, sometimes it's only 28 days. Like, it really honestly varies by the card. And I don't know the rhyme or reason for that either. You can place holds. One of the cards that I have, they're really good about putting stuff up early, so you can place holds on stuff early. So for example, I've already placed holds on stuff that comes out in December, just because they have those titles up and available. They're really good they're really good about staying on top of new releases that are coming out, so people can place holds. So like basically the day that the book releases and or the week that the book releases, I will be able to have an audiobook and or ebook of that because I can place the hold on it so early. Now, I have only found that there is only one free library card option, and that is Harris County in Texas. I will have the link if I can find them still, if they're still free. I compiled this stuff about a week ago, so if I can find all the links for all of these things again and make sure that they're actually still free and or the prices that I'm saying, I will have it linked in the description box below for you guys. So the only free library card which I actually have is Harris County in Texas. It is okay. It's a good happy medium between mine and like say when I had the Brooklyn County Library that had like everything available. It's a good happy medium. Now, if you would like to purchase some out-of-state library cards, I tried to find a low amount, like low dollar amount, and this is for either 6 months or a year. So Orange County in Florida, so the Orange County Library in Florida is $125 for the year, which seems pretty pricey, but for me, I could justify that for any of these, honestly, any of these prices, because I'm not spending that amount on Audible credits or WhisperSync or anything like that. So it all kinds of balances out. Now, New Orleans Public Library in New Orleans, Louisiana has it for $50 for the whole year. Montgomery County in Maryland has, I think, a year, or maybe it's every month, for $10. I will put that in the description box below. Newark Public County Library has a subscription for $50 for the whole year, so you can, you know, purchase the out-of-state library card for $50. Same thing with Queens Library, so Queens, New York. They have an option for out-of-state for $50, and then Fairfax County in Virginia is $27, either for 6 months or a year. So those are all relatively priced. Like I said, I haven't had any of these other than Harris County, which is for free, and like I said, it's a happy medium. I have heard that Orange County in Florida is really, really good. New Orleans Public Library is also really, really good. The other ones, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming is good because they're kind of bigger cities. So like I said, bigger cities with more people has more resources that the state gives those libraries to purchase more and different books and diverse books. So if you have any question that you think of, leave it in the comments down below for me, and I would love to try and answer it. I tried to compile all of the different things, but if something doesn't make sense, or if you have a question, leave it in the comments down below, and I would love to answer it for you guys. I want to make sure that you have all of the information for digital reading because it is so accessible. It can be so accessible, and I want to make sure that everyone has access to that. Now, I did try and look up anyone who is outside of the United States, and there are very few libraries that I found that you have to call and ask for to see if they have options for you to purchase an out-of-state library card, but if you're out of the country. So yeah, I tried to look that up, but it was a little bit harder. They said you had to call, and it was like varied based on like what country you're from. So you can definitely go ahead and do that. But like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below for me. I will most definitely answer them. If you've made it this far and you want to let me know, leave me a card emoji, like a library card emoji. I think there's a card emoji. Leave that in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you found this video super helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe if you'd want to see more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.